Believe it or not, Saturday Night Live's spoof about Democrats defending Biden was actually pretty funny. Check it out.
I was just with him, and behind closed doors, Joe is incredible.
I was just with him, and behind closed doors, he's a whirlwind.
I was just with him, and behind closed doors, he's a dynamo.
I was just with him, and behind closed doors, he is strong. Joe got that grandpa monkey strength.
Biden is 81 years old. Isn't that a little concerning? You don't have to exaggerate to make voters feel better.
I'm not. Let's FaceTime him. I'll bet he's probably just right in the middle of the bike ride. Mr. President?
Hey, hold on. I'm just going to turn up the volume. Just got to find a button. There we go.
So, Charlie, you don't think it was that funny?
No, I mean, I guess it's a low bar, so it's sort of like you got to give him props for actually making a joke about, I thought it was illegal to make a joke in the media about Joe Biden. Listening to 5 minutes of Donald Trump speaking in Richmond last night, I was like rolling on the floor laughing, like holding my gut. That's genuinely funny, but whatever, props to him for doing this. But I do think it's kind of interesting that, that like a minute ago, we were just talking to Chris Coons on, the quote from him. When he attacks Donald Trump, he talks about the chaos and the 91 indictments. So he's admitting that they can't really attack Donald Trump on any of the issues.
Right.
And I get it that, the health stuff is not good for Joe Biden. But honestly, I think that the left, I think the White House would rather be making fun of Joe Biden about his health than actually talking about the issues that have him 16 points underwater.
Well, that's because the polling on the issues, including new Fox News polling, shows that the economy, only 37% approve of Joe Biden's performance on that issue, 62% disapprove. On the issue of inflation, which is a tax, of course, on all Americans, 34% approve, 65% disapprove. And on immigration, illegal immigration, 31% approve and 66% disapprove. So, Kellyanne, is Senator Coons correct when he says that Democrats outperform the polls and that everything is fine and that you don't need to worry about Joe Biden's 65% disapproval on very key issues that affect all Americans?
Senator Coons is a very smart person, but the fact that Donald Trump could be president again, and I believe will be president again, and Joe Biden is the president, makes a lot of smart, reasonable Democrats say really foolish things. And it's a shame because they're on tape saying things like that. The fact is, I go back to the ABC News poll in Wisconsin right before Election Day 2020, and it said Joe Biden was winning Wisconsin by 17 points, ABC News Washington Post poll. Now, Joe Biden was never winning Wisconsin by 17 points, and Donald Trump was never winning Wisconsin by 17 points. That's why it's Wisconsin. Trump won it by 0.4 of a percentage point in 2016, and Biden won it by 0.7 of a percentage point in 2020. So a poll like that shouldn't even see the light of day. And then everybody looked at it and said, well, if he's winning Wisconsin by 17 points. So no, the polls are always more favorable to Biden, which is why, Katie, these polls are so remarkable. Everybody's polls say the same thing. What you just showed in the disapproval ratings up in the 60s, those are the top issues to everybody. Inflation, economy, border and immigration. And he doesn't have personal attributes either. Does he have the energy? Does he care about the middle class? Does he have a plan and the vision for the country? Is he fit to do the job? Does he have a good sense of humor? Everything that people liked about, say, other Democratic presidents whose approval ratings would go down once in a while on something, Joe Biden has none of that goodwill built up among any major constituency.
Yeah. So, Joey, Kellyanne brings up the question of whether Joe Biden is fit to do the job for a second term. The White House had his physical last week to distract maybe away from other issues that were in the news, but they're not making the White House physician available to the press for questioning. So that leaves us with asking doctors outside of the White House for advice about Joe Biden's cognitive abilities. Take a listen.
Dr. Phil, do you think President Biden should take a cognitive exam?
If you got people that have nothing to hide nothing, so why not?
So,
yeah, listen, well, I slightly disagree because if you ask me how many guns I have, I'll tell you I have a boating accident. And I don't have anything to hide, but the government doesn't need to know. This is not the case of hiding something from the government. This is hiding something that's in plain sight for the American people. But just think about what we've done. We're Fox News, okay? We kind of have a political partisan slant on a lot of our shows, especially our opinion shows in the evening. That's fine. We just showed Saturday Night Live and Bill Maher as evidence that the idea that Kareem Jean-Pierre can stand up there and with arrogance say he passes a cognitive test every day, that is so much of a parody that the outlets and the folks that may be lock in step with them in policy and ideology aren't believing it, and they're making fun of it. And that kind of is the proof in the pudding. They don't have to parody Karine Jean-Pierre in order to parody her and to show the ridiculousness in what she's saying or what Biden says when he says, watch me, because they're doing it through every surrogate that he has out there that says the same thing. Democrats have always been really good at starting the day with a phrase that lasts all day long, and they parodied that too. And it shows you just how much of they think that they can spit in our face and tell us it's raining, and it just doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, everybody can see. Right.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.